It's been over 2 years since I last played Death Stranding. With the sequel out this week, I wanted to come back, but not to start over, but to revisit the world I left behind. Now, for anyone watching that's unfamiliar with the game, this is an open world game about reconnecting a fractured America by delivering packages. But you're not alone. Every player exists in their own version of the world. But the things we build in our game, roads, ziplines, signs, they can appear in other people's games and playthroughs. You'll never actually see another person, unlike a Souls game, but their help is everywhere. And that is what I'm coming back to see if my help, if the structures I built are still there 2 years later. What survived after all this time? Did anyone actually use what I left behind? Was I forgotten or quietly remembered and celebrated? Because you do get likes in this game. I wonder how many likes I got after 2 years. So today I'm going to boot up my original save file to see what exactly is still functional and what has decayed beyond usability. I'm in a great position because I have tons of footage from this game. Footage that I used to make this video. So what we're going to do today is we're going to try to revisit those exact same locations and compare the two footages side by side. So what we're going to explore today is my structures, other player structures, how many likes I got while I was away, if ziplines truly are faster than cars, my favorite memories, and the terrain itself. Because I don't know if you know, but in this game, the terrain is malleable. It changes based on where we walk and how often we walk. So come along this journey and let's revisit Death Stranding to see what's left standing. Maybe this video will inspire you to go look at your own footage and revisit those locations. Okay, first thing we're going to do, we have to go to the trophies, and we have to figure out when the last time I played this was. I know I got a platinum, so it's going to be a long time ago. Yes, I played a lot of games. Humanity Stray. Oh, we're getting close. There it is. Whoa, look at that. It's just before Chia. And Chia was the first video I put on this channel. So let's go into Death Stranding. So I got the platinum on March 16th, 2023. Safe to say I have not played this since March of 2023. And it is currently June of 2025. So it's more than 2 years later. So let's go into the library and boot this game for the very first time. This is exciting. Here we go. Wow. Okay, so apparently I played 148 hours. Oh my god, I thought it was 112 hours. This is bad. If you're new here, this is a short games channel. In fact, this was the last 100-hour game I ever played. So that says a lot about Death Stranding and how much of a good time I had with it. Let's jump right in and see what's changed. Continue. Let's see how many likes we got. Honestly, I don't remember really how it goes. Oh wow, what is with this outfit? I got a Half-Life hat. Wait, is that a Strider? Usually at this point you see the total likes on the very bottom. Not today. Okay, let's try getting on the bike. Maybe it will update then. Alright, I'm starting to see some new notifications. Jump ramp. A road you rebuilt was used by someone else. Other players are pleased with you. 999 players, 86,234 likes. All right, let's press start to check our total likes. Total likes, 540,875 likes. Wow, that's 500,000. Honestly, it wasn't as much as I thought it would be. I kind of wish I pressed start before the notifications came in. What if we try to quit the game and start over again? Maybe it didn't save. Okay, now it's down to 454,384. That's about 80,000 less than 540-ish. All right, okay, no 80,000 likes. I guess me rebooting the game really screwed me over. Well, what can we say? We got our answer. We got like 80,000 likes after 2 years, which is very disappointing because I'm pretty sure I've had like 20,000 likes just from taking a week-long break. At least we got an answer and fulfilled that curiosity. So let's actually play this game and see how my Death Stranding world has changed over the years. Alright, first things first, we gotta repair my Zipline network. I got this clip in the corner from 2023 and we can see we have 57 likes. No new likes on this one, but we are gonna repair it because we need to do a race. We're gonna try to figure out what is faster, zip lines or cars on the road. How satisfying is this animation? That's kind of disappointing that nobody really used it. I hope this next one has a few more likes, at least. Come on. Oh my god, 9,234. That's what I'm talking about. We definitely have to repair this one. It's our big money maker, or I guess like maker so far. So we're going to go into the repair structure menu and repair it using chiral crystals. I wonder why people like this one so much. Oh my god, what is going on here? Okay, I guess this is the danger zone. Oh no, 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 no. Push, push, push. Okay, get out of here. Whew. I can see why people really like this one. It probably saved a few lives. Not many people were building here either, so it probably has less competition. Okay, that's enough of that. Let's get out of here and zipline to safety. I really hope this next zipline is mine, and it's not. Okay, so we have to find mine. I wonder where I could have built it. You know, while we're up here, let's just take a breather. Let's appreciate the gorgeous visuals and how in touch with nature this game makes us feel. Nature truly calls, so let's go find a road. At least the BTs won't bother us. Okay, there's one, finally. Is this my own zipline? Is it all of Ocelot? Yes, it is, but it has 0 likes. We're gonna repair it and make it usable. Even if no one else used it, at least it'll be useful for me. Let's continue this journey and upgrade a few more zip lines on top of the mountain. I think we're almost over the hump. So there's one here, and then this is where all the falling rocks are, and the cliffs are more sharp. It's a bit harder to see, so we're going to climb over, and there it is, finally. Okay, oh, this one has 1 like, and then this one has 20 likes at least. Okay, let's fix that one, and then 52 likes, and we're ready. Finally, we have a non-broken one, a working one. But 0 likes. Okay, this other one took me a while to find. It was in the middle of a field, but look at this. It has 900 likes. So what gives? Why are people not fixing it? All right, and the last zip line is attached to the base. So this one definitely got some TLC. I'm really proud of this one because when you dismount, you land directly on the bridge. You don't have to climb and you can just walk right up to it and zip. Okay, now that we've got our entire zipline network set up from one side to the other, it's time to see which is faster, the ziplines or the car. Now, I will be using the Roadster, which you unlock way later in the game. It's not the greatest for delivering packages, but it's the fastest car in the game. While my zipline networks try to go pretty straight and above the mountains, the road goes all the way around, so it's a bit inconvenient. Now, the car does seem kind of slow at first, but remember it does have a boost feature, so we're going to turn it on right now. And there we go. We can see that we're already overtaking the zipline. Bam, past that little line. And let's speed up the video because we don't have 4 minutes to wait around for this to happen. It's important to keep in mind that the car is taking the very long scenic way, while the zipline network is trying to cut through the mountains. Are you willing to set your bets? Who do you think is going to be faster? It should be pretty obvious by now if you know the area. Let's slow down the footage at the finish line because we are done. So even though the Roadster took the very long and scenic route, it still got there faster, about 40 seconds faster actually. Personally, I love using the cars, especially the Roadster. The car handling isn't the greatest, you can tell this is not a driving game, but I still appreciate the convenience. Now I know in the last video I got a lot of heat for saying don't even bother building the roads when playing this, but that was for the Platinum. It takes so much material and so much time, and you don't even get a trophy for it. But what you do get is a ton of likes. Look at this, 234,000. Remember, I only had like 450,000 likes across everything that I've built. So this one structure is responsible for over half of my likes. So if you don't care about not getting a trophy for building all the roads, but you do care about likes and convenience of driving, definitely do build the roads, because this is a lot of likes. Look at this, I only have a total of 450,000. I feel bad for all the people who played this game for only a few hours and think it's just a walking sim. Like, they don't even know there's cars in this game, let alone all the other vehicles and fun stuff you can do this game. This is not a walking sim. Woo! Honestly, I just found out today that you could go off the ramps just by running. I didn't know this in my first playthrough. I knew you could do it through the bikes, but how fun is it to just run and do flips? Landed in the water, woo! Alright, so we figured out that cars are faster than the ziplines, and we saw a few of my structures get a lot of likes. We'll continue to look out for structures of mine that have received a lot of likes, but I don't want that to be the entire video. What I want to talk about now is how the environment has changed over the years, like the environment in the actual game. See this path right here? This path is not a permanent fixture in the game world. Paths in this game are formed through player interactions with the environment, so by walking or driving the same route over and over again, players gradually create visible dirt paths. These paths are not predetermined by the game, but are dynamically generated based on player data. And this isn't just your data, this is other players' data as well. So if these paths are not used frequently, they'll even fade over time, and you'll see the grass growing where the path used to be. And the path will change depending on if vehicles are being driven over here. They can also be affected by environmental factors like rain or time, but this is really hard to notice when you're actually playing the game. You have no frame of reference, so you got nothing to compare it to. But luckily for us, I have a ton of footage from my first playthrough that I did for my previous video that I made for this game. So we're gonna recreate some of the same moments from the first video and make note of any environmental changes or little details in the background that we didn't notice when we were playing it the first time. Let's start with the fun one since we're here already. I have this great clip from 2 years ago of me standing here at the edge and seeing if I could jump across this entire river, and I managed to do it. Not bad. I didn't even know you could jump that far. I was actually surprised. So I tried to recreate that same jump 2 years later, and it looks like I need to not skip leg day as much. But then I realized, wait, this isn't the same river. This doesn't seem right. Oh no. Okay, this was a fail. Let's not do this again. So after further sleuthing, I found the correct location. The grass and the foliage looked a lot more similar to the original video. Because unlike real life in this game, the rain kills everything. Now for the most part, it looked pretty much the same. There were tiny variations, but nothing worth talking about. Which is quite surprising because in the newer video, there's a road to the right of this path. So I would have guessed this path would have been used a lot less, but apparently not. But if we back up a tiny bit further from the river, we can start to see a horizontal path that crosses or intersects the current path. When the SAM on the right crosses that path, we see the border of the chiral network, but no path on the ground, which again is very interesting because there is a road to our right. Maybe a few players were using this as a shortcut to get to the road. Before we leave this place, we have to redeem ourselves from that terrible jump from before. There you go, much better. Also, since we're here, I'm curious about this road. Could this road be my road? There's only one way to find out. It sure does have a lot of points. Let's see, 234,000. All of Ocelot, let's go. Is this my most liked structure? What was the other one at? Hey, wait a minute. I've been reading these all wrong. Why is it the same exact number? 234,051. I thought that was how many likes each autopaver gave me. Maybe this number is cumulative. It could be either all the roads that I've built added together, or it could be all the likes from players instead of NPCs. If you know where this number comes from, let me know in the comments below. Now this next one is in a snowy environment, and hopefully that will make it easier to see footprints. Maybe they're more prominent in snowy areas. What I want you to pay attention to lies beyond the zipline. Look at these two paths right here, how prominent they are, especially when compared to the same spot but on the right. It looks like a big muddy mess, almost like the snow level from GoldenEye. But in the old footage, the lines are so much more clearer. Just a cool hidden feature that you can't appreciate until you do a direct side-by-side. Speaking of cool hidden features, this is my favorite thing in the whole game. See these mushrooms right here to the right of me? This was my favorite place to visit. Guess what you do with these mushrooms? That sign right there should give it away. Yes, this is the favorite rest spot. With over 3,000 likes, a lot of people have relieved themselves here. You see, the more players that come and pee here, the larger the mushroom cluster grows. And here's something you might not know. If you really zoom in on the mushrooms, the white spots are actually likes. So it's not just a hologram that you spray on the ground for others to see. It's a very special spot. If all the SAMs in this world were dogs, this is our local fire hydrant. So the neat thing here is that this spot won't be here for everybody. It's only a special place for the people who decided to make it a special place. So as you can see, 2 years later, that mushroom is nowhere to be found. All right, boys, you know what we gotta do. It's time to continue the tradition for the next generation who plays this game this year. If you play your game and you see mushrooms here called Olive Ocelot, please post them in the subreddit. And if you don't know where this is, it's by the cosplayer Team Coco. Just go down there in this little divot right there. All right, if we continue walking uphill from here, we should end up at the top. And here is where my favorite structure from another player resides. Right beside the waterfall, there is a ramp that was built there by a user called Vector, or as I called it affectionately, Intrusive Thoughts. This ramp serves no purpose other than stoking your curiosity. There is nothing to gain from this ramp except certain death. This is where the ramp is on my map. If anyone's curious, it's right by the waterfall. I think there's only one. So if you ever had the good fortune of coming across a ramp that's right next to the waterfall, you know there's only one thing to do. Save your game because you're about to do something stupid. Because near the edge of a waterfall, intrusive thoughts always win. So this whole ramp footage was from my original run. So this is me from 2 years ago finding out what's going to happen if I jump. Now I'm going to slow it down right here for the people who haven't played the game, because what happens when you die might be a spoiler. So skip to the next section. I love discovering this myself and I want you to discover it naturally as well. It's not a story spoiler, just something cool. Alright, if you're still sticking around, let's explore together. Back to normal speed. Okay, so I think this was the first time I died because I had no idea what was going on. My screen just froze at this frame for like 30 seconds. I was able to move and see the ramp and see a representation of my body. I was like, okay, that's cool. So I went down the waterfall just like I did in the jump. When I came up the waterfall, I looked up and saw some names. And then I swam towards them and I was like, wait a minute. These are the other players. Not just any players, but the poor unfortunate souls that also let intrusive thoughts win. The mad lads that did the jump too. I never felt so connected in the game until this moment. Sure, the random ladders with usernames did suggest that other players were putting those down, but it didn't really humanize them, you know? It was just nice. But these bodies right here, this was a very gamer move. I imagined many of the bodies doing the exact same jump as I did, and saving right before doing that stupid thing. So as off-putting as these floating bodies were, they made me feel more connected to the other human players more than anything else in the game. So let's get back to the real world and see if that ramp is still there. So back to 2025, I went up top and walked towards, and there it is. I think it's the same one. It looks really rusty. I mean, I haven't been here in over 2 years. But could it be the same ramp that was built by Vector with 349 likes, or could it be a different one? And it is. It only has 354 likes. There we go. Let's give it some extra likes there. Wow. Vector is still standing strong after 2 years. It looks super rusty, but a ramp is a ramp. So let's celebrate this structure still standing with the only way we know how. This one's for all the homies that died here. All you daredevils were the real ones. And before we leave my favorite structure in the whole game, there's one thing we gotta do. And even 420. Thank you, Vector, for all the great times I had with this ramp. Ooh, let's look at that smooth animation again. So satisfying. Well, we can't just upgrade it and walk away. We have to test it. And to anyone who still thinks this is just a walking sim, just go show them this clip. The physics in this game are ridiculous. It doesn't make any sense, but it's so fun to get around. This was actually a tip from my last video. If you want to get over these small rocks and not get your bike stuck, all you have to do is pop a wheelie, put on the boost, and spam the jump button. Here we go. This one's for you, Vector. No. And before we move on to the next section, let's show you my favorite glitch spot. I don't actually know if this is a glitch. This might actually be intentional. Let's see if you notice something out of the ordinary. For some reason, whenever you visit Hartman, this always happens. Do you notice anything? Why is my outfit changing? Does the fireplace have something to do with it? All right, and here's me 2 years later. Let's see if it still happens. And yeah, it still turns red. And back to gray. You know what? Maybe this is snow. Maybe this is just snow thawing because of the fire and the heat in that room. Well, there's only one way to test this out. Through science. We have a hypothesis, so let's get to work. I was about to go back to the base to change my clothes, but it actually happened on the way to the base. There was this weird isolated patch of warmth in the snowy area, and my outfit did change from blue down to a light gray. Since I'm close to the base, let's finish the job. We gotta go change our entire outfit. The outfit is currently blue, but we can change it to many other colors. Which one should we choose? How about something dark? And let's make the backpack stand out too. Let's go with red. Red, yellow, black, Ferrari colors. Why not? Can I jump into the new color? I didn't even notice it that time. That was subtle. Yeah, so there's this weird isolated patch of warmth right here, so we can confirm it is the snow. Do you want to hear a joke? This suit is black not. Very nice. I like it. This suit is black not. All right, and before we go, let me show you one little tip. Oh, no, not that tip. Oh my God, I'm sorry, Norman Reedus. Back at the base when you're chilling, you could keep zooming into Norman's crotch and he will give you different reactions. He gets really mad about it. So if you enjoyed this video, smash that like button. If you played the original game, maybe this video made you want to go back and try out something, since you don't have access to the second one yet. But if you haven't played this game yet and you thought it was just a walking sim, this is more the gameplay to expect. I spent so much time just exploring this world and doing crazy stuff. Yeah, the story's convoluted and the deliveries can get boring sometimes, but it is truly one of the best open world games I've played. The physics and the graphics of this game are just so fun to get lost in. Add to that the interconnectedness of other players and their influence on your game and your influence on theirs. You can see how it's possible to add an extra 5 to 6 hours this week and not deliver a single thing. So to wrap it up, most of what I left behind is still there. Some of it was only visible to me and that kind of sucks and I had 0 likes, but some of it got used, some of it was decayed, and some of it might have never mattered at all, like I said. In Death Stranding, you help people you'll never meet, and sometimes they help you back. The world doesn't need to say thank you, it just needs to remember. So in a game that's about being isolated and feeling all alone, and that came out right before the big pandemic, the little reminders in the game that other people have walked the same paths and used your structures makes you feel less alone. And not in a Souls way where another player can come into your game and ruin your experience. A cooperative way, but that's not too handhold. Just suggestions. It's a divisive game for sure, and the second one's going to be even more divisive. It's not for everyone, but I hope that this video showed you parts of Death Stranding that you didn't get to see. I know YouTubers can be really negative, especially about this game, but I hope the clips in this video show why me, a short game enjoyer, and many others have lost hundreds of hours in this game and don't regret one. What was your favorite random memory from this game? Let me know in the comments. So thanks for watching, and until next time, be a friend, and I'll see you again.